Yo, what's up guys, Butterybutters here, and I am bringing you a in-depth roster analysis of the New Jersey Devils for NHL 14. This is using the first downloadable roster download, because in the original game it still had Clarkson and Kovalchuk on the Devils, and I really hope they patch the game to get that traitor off of the New Jersey Devils page of your favorite teams. God, go back to Russia. Oh my ass, you just want to be the superstar of a less competitive league. Anyway, I have to turn the music off for this for copyright reasons. I will be overlaying some royalty-free music in here in the background, which you should be able to hear now. But anyway, yeah, this is an in-depth roster analysis, and I'm also going to be giving you guys some recommendations on what I think stats should be that they shouldn't be, and overalls that, should be, you get it. You get the idea. This is a roster analysis. It's all personal opinion for my favorite team. Anyway, going right to centers, we have Travis Zajac, 87, Adam Henrique, 83, Andrei Loktionov, even though the announcers call him Loktionov, 78, Jakob Josephson at 76, and Steven Gianta, at 75. Now, I disagree with two of these, and actually I disagree with them not in a fan's way, that's a hockey player way. I personally think Travis Zajac, he should not... Just because he's getting paid $5.75 doesn't mean his overall should reflect that. His overall should be anywhere between 85 to 86, simply because of that slump he had last year. It was a horrible, horrible year for him. Adam Henrique should be anywhere from 81 to 82, not 83, because of his sophomore slump. He did not do too well. And you can see there are different categories here. Over here you can see how many years is on their contracts. Obviously, they're both locked up pretty long term. And, yeah. Adam Henrique, I think his potential is literally just right. Very accurate 4-star, meaning he'd be a very good second liner or a very bad first liner on any team, which means he's probably not going to get much higher than 83 to 85. Zajac, he's about hit his ceiling anyway, so. Loktionov, I think he merits a 4-star as well for the way he's been playing recently. He didn't get a chance in the Kings organization, got a chance with the Devils, so that's nice. Josephson, I really think should be a 3-star player overall. 76 overall is good, but his potential, it could stand to be a tiny bit lower. Anyway, moving on to left wings, and I think this is the biggest travesty of the roster updates, for the Devils at least. Patrick Elias, still only 83. He's by far the best offensive player the Devils have, and they're not paying him 5.5 just to keep him around, honestly. His overall should be at least 85, maybe 84. At the absolute least, because he's still by far the Devils' leading point getter, and their best offensive player overall. I completely disagree with this overall, in every way. Ryan Clough, 82, I think that's pretty much perfect. Basically, the exact same thing as David Clarkson was. Don't know why, even with the roster update, Alexei Ponigrovsky's still on the team. The team let his contract run out, and he signed in Russia, so... If you're trying to go for authentic lines, get rid of, release him and lower his stats to 40 or something, since there's no Russian league in this game. I have never seen Rostislav Osles play, so I can't comment on his overall. Brian Carter, I believe 77 is a good solid overall for him, maybe lower to 76, but that's just me. And Christopher Bartz is just an enforcer, his overall should be anywhere between 69 and 72, so... That's about right. I will be going over the minor league team and prospects as well, so... Anyway, right wingers, Michael Ryder, Jaromir Jagr, Dina Zubris, and Steve Bernier. I think every one of these, except for, rather half of these are right. I think Jagr should be anywhere between an 70 to an 81, maybe, at the most. I think 82 is just a bit too much for him. And Ryder, I think 84 would have been a better overall for him, but one thing, if you're trying to play very authentically, you have to lower his salary. The Devils are not paying him for $4 million for 1 year, unless what I read is completely wrong. The salary that I read up on Jaromir Jagr was 1 year at $2 million, so you might want to lower that to $2 million. Anyway, Dina Zubris, maybe 79, but I think 80 is the perfect overall for him. He's a very gritty player, and 80 is about the highest overall that he could ever get. Now we're moving on to defensemen. Andy Green, 83 overall, that's about right. Anton Volchenkov, 83 overall, that's not right. I believe he should be about an 80. He's a liability offensively, and he has a tendency to be a liability defensively as well. Adam Larsson, 82. I personally think that's about right. If he had been 83, I would have said it was a tiny bit too much. But yeah, he's 82. He's got 4.5 yellow star potential, meaning that it's likely he hits his ceiling, but not completely certain. Mark Fane, 81 overall, with 3.5 red star potential. I think that's about right. Mark Fane has always been up and down. He's had a decent ceiling, he's just never been able to hit it. Marek Zidlicki at 80. Not entirely sure about this. This one I actually have to look at his stats for. Now, defensive awareness should be 80. He's a huge liability defensively, oh my god. Shot blocking should be 80, stick checking should be 80. His discipline, maybe 75 instead of 78. He takes way too many penalties. He's very poised, and his offensive awareness should be a bit higher. He always knows where to be offensively. As for his puck skills, his passing could stand to be a little better as well as his deking, and his balance could stand to be a tiny bit better, but, you know, that's just personal opinion. And his shooting, his accuracy should be a tad better, so I really think his overall should have been around 82-ish. Salvador, 79, that's about right. Maybe a little less. He's a bit of a traffic cone, but he's at least very good physically. Peter Harold, 77, he performed very well last year when he played. Not well enough to warrant anything higher than this, but that's about right. Now we move on to the big thing, goalies. We have Cory Schneider, Martin Brodeur, and I have no idea why Keith Kincaid is on the team. He should be in the minors. Anyway, Cory Schneider, I didn't watch him play too much, but he's listed in this game as an elite goalie and an overall of 86, and we're probably going to look at his stats for the past couple of years. Okay. We got a 2.11, 1.9. Yep. I'd say he's warranted that pretty well, actually. Actually, considering those, well, he's never full-time started. He's always backed up Luongo, so 86 is probably the best overall he could get. Marty Brodeur, 85. I think they only listed him that high to label him as a starting goalie. I think his overall should be closer to 82 to 84. No higher than 84, honestly, because, don't get me wrong, he's still a great goalie at his age, but I don't think he warranted this high of a rating. I'm guessing he got this rating either A, because they need to label him a starter, or 2, because he's on the cover. So, anyway, the Devils have no rookie skaters on their team at the moment, so yeah, those are my personal opinions on the Devils team itself. What time am I? 7, okay. Anyway, now we're going to take a look at their minor league team. Okay, and they're the Albany Devils. We're going to go straight to centers. Honestly, the Devils really don't have any good centers in their system, because they're all rather bad, honestly. Yeah, I'd say all of these are pretty right. As a matter of fact, Darcy Zajac, his overall could stand to be a bit lower, honestly. They have a couple of centers that are unsigned, the most notable which was their second round pick. Ryan, Japanese last name, I can't remember. I can't remember how to pronounce it. It's something ski, I think. Anyway, he's got, I think a 3.5 green star overall, and I think he's like 58 overall, so he's a decent prospect, but not too great. And then they have, like, Graham Black, and, yeah, no good center prospects whatsoever. Over at left wing, they have Matthias Tenempi, is how it's supposed to be pronounced. The American way to pronounce it is Tedenby. But anyway, 74 overall, 3.5 green star potential, which I think is personally wrong. Oh, darn it. I think his overall actually should be a 4 or 4.5 red star, because Tedenby has always had a sky-high ceiling, but because he's so horrible defensively, they haven't been able to, develop him right. As a matter of fact, his defensive awareness is way too high. It shouldn't be 79, it should be closer to 70. Stick checking and shot blocking should also be 70 and 70. His discipline should be closer to 80, actually. His deking should be about 87, and his passing should be about 85. Puck control is about right. His body checking is about right. Durability, fighting skill, his strength should only be 70. His speed should be closer to around 90, as well as his acceleration and agility. His shooting's about right, so, yeah. Overall, everything about him except his potential is right. I'd switch him to 4 or 4.5 red star. And everyone else here is kind of crap. And I'm not saying that lightly. All of these guys have a maximum of 2.5 yellow star. And yeah, none of these guys are really any good. As if you're playing a GM mode as the New Jersey Devils, I would highly recommend you basically draft nothing but forwards. And then right wing, it gets even worse. You have Scott Parse, who's essentially hit his ceiling already. He doesn't even have a contract. And then you have Matt Anderson, Cam Jansen, and Mike Sislo, none of which are very good, and none of them are really going to get any better. So yeah, you're better off just not even having these guys on your team, essentially. And then we've got defensemen of Eric Jelena, Matt Corretti, Alex Urbam, Brandon Burloin, Jay Leach, me, who I created for a reason because I love the Devils, and Corbin McPherson. If you're just playing like the game just with the new roster update, get rid of this guy, because that's me. I accidentally switched. I made myself into very high-end offensive defenseman, obviously. But anyway, Eric Jelena should be listed as an offensive defenseman, but he's not. He's listed as a two-way defenseman. And his overall should be 4.5 red star, not 4 yellow star, because he does have a very high ceiling. I've actually talked to someone who has talked to some of the Devils coaches, and they're extremely high on Eric Jelena. They think that with the right development, he could be a very potent, at least second-line offensive defenseman. So yeah, his defensive, like, he's a bit of a liability defensively, but he is pretty damn good offensively, especially on power play, they've said, so. And they're also exceptionally high at Alexander Urbam. Having a 3-star green potential is actually very inaccurate to what the Devils staff thinks of him. I'd say it's closer to 4 green potential or 4.5 red, or anywhere between 4 red and 4.5 red, because they've said that he has the potential to be an incredibly skilled defenseman. And as you can see, he's already a pretty good skater, and he's got relatively good power on shooting, so I would actually highly recommend you up his potential to 4 something, and up Jelena's potential to 4.5 red. As for goalies, they have Phrasing Claremont with Anthony Brodeur signed, so Anthony Brodeur's actually got a 4 yellow star overall potential, rather, which I don't get. I really don't get that. Anyway, so yeah, if I were to, I'm actually not going to do it now, but you can go to download rosters and team management and customization, but anyway, yeah, if I were to choose 2 players on the minors to change, it would definitely be Jelena and Urbam, and if I were to choose 1 player on the majors to change, it would wholly be Elias, definitely. Elias did not get any credit from the EA. EA really had it out for him. I mean, jeez, 73? Anyway, I might as well show you my stats. Okay. Yeah, by the way, this does not at all affect me at all. I'm actually personally a goalie, and if I were to make my goalie stats, I'd probably be around 70, actually. But yeah, anyway, age 20, 4.5 green star potential. My defensive awareness is kind of low, very good discipline, decent offensive awareness. Yeah, as you can tell, the senses and the physical could definitely stand to be improved, but I made myself a 5-star skater with 90s, at least 90s across the board. My shooting's not that bad, especially for a minor leaguer, and neither are my puck skills. My physical skills could stand to be a lot better, but yeah, that's me. But anyway, that has been the New Jersey Devils in-depth roster analysis, and it only took me 12 minutes 13 now, but anyway, I might actually do some GM mode. I don't play games in my GM modes. I play games in my Live the Life mode and, you know, all that other stuff, my online stuff. But I don't think I'll be doing any online stuff since I'm decent at the game. I wouldn't call myself very good. Anyway, this has been Butterybutters signing off. If you liked the video, make sure to check out my channel for more. I've got plenty of other stuff on there that you might enjoy, or rather I will once I get around to recording as regularly as I used to. I've had some personal issues lately, which I'll explain in another video. Anyway, take care, guys.